Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills for you to level up your way with words and become much more articulate. In today's episode, we're going to be answering the question, do dating apps work? The answer is yes. So we will transition into the next part of the video, which is, what are some effective ways in order to find a long-term relationship through the dating apps? The reason that dating apps work is because you just need to look around you. There are plenty of success stories. I believe 2 years ago, I went to one wedding and I asked a bunch of the different other couples there, how did you guys meet? And most of the folks said, we met through a dating app. So I knew for a fact that dating apps do work, and that is where we want to add in point number 1 on how to successfully navigate dating apps. You need to have the positive mindset. Because a lot of these folks, especially on TikTok, they're only talking about the bad stories that are occurring to them. So you may be in that position where you are thinking, well, what's even the point? I'm wasting a bunch of time and this is just not fair to me. Remember this, you only need one win. You could get 150 different rejections, and for some people, it's to the 1,500 rejections. But if you get that one win, you could finally close that dating app and focus all in on your person. So you want to be positive. The next thing you want to do is you want to assess whether or not you really want a relationship. This is something I should have actually explained in the beginning of this video, but the purpose of today's talk is not for just casual hookups on dating apps, because I believe that's more so a numbers game. You don't really require much of a strategy for that. But if you want a serious relationship, you really need to ask yourself, is this what I want? I was talking to one of my old school roommates recently, and he was living by himself. And I asked him, yo, you have a really nice place. You bringing any girls here? And he's like, yeah, I've been hooking up with a lot of girls recently. I'm like, cool, man. Did you ever want to settle down, or do you like this lifestyle? I'm not judging. He's like, yeah, I was thinking about it, but I'm not too sure. My parents are forcing me at this point. They keep bringing it up nonstop. So what do you think, Armani? As soon as he said, my parents are forcing me nonstop, I'm like, don't even bother, bro. Unless you want to do it, then what's going to happen is that there's way too much information out there. Right now, navigating a dating app is like another part-time job, right? You have to actually, some people don't even read the profile. So let's say you do read the profiles, that's one thing. You gotta swipe right, swipe left, that's another thing. You need to juggle a bunch of different conversations so you're not having the same questions being asked to different people. It's another part-time job. So unless there's that pull for you to really want a significant other, then honestly, man, keep doing what you're doing. Because if you're just like, my parents are forcing me to, then you're going to waste your time and you're going to waste a whole other group of people's times. And the thing is, a lot of these dating apps nowadays have a thing called the ghost feature. So if you, let's say, stop responding to someone, they could unmatch you. And when they give a reason as to why they unmatched you, they say that you ghosted them. And if you have enough of these stacks of ghosting others, in the future, whenever someone sees your profile, they're gonna be like, why even bother with this guy? He just ghosts everyone, and they'll just swipe left on you. So unless you really want it, don't even bother. And that's when I urge you to ask the question. If my parents were saying yes, no, whatever, what do I want? And you say, I really want this, then you could proceed on to the next step, which is step number 3. Step number 3 is to make sure you understand your medium. It's very difficult to find your life partner on Tinder. You may be able to do it. I know just one guy who married his girl off Tinder. But right now, Tinder is a cesspool depending on your location. I know when Tinder is being rolled out to new countries, that's when it's fresh and it's getting a lot of top candidates. But if it's been there for some time, a lot of these folks are not even real people, and a lot of them are just trying to promote their Instagram. So you really want to make sure that you are finding the right medium for you. I mean, I can't necessarily talk about like Jewish folks or farmers, but like I know within the brown community, there's two apps that like just stick out. One is Dilmill, and I believe the other is called Mirchi, right? And if you want to have something serious as a brown person, and let's say you want another brown person, you're not necessarily going on Tinder and stuff. You're trying to find the medium that's right for you. Every now and then, doing some research in regards to this is a good thing. Or ask one of your friends, like, hey, how'd you meet your girl? We met through a dating app. Okay, which dating app? And every now and then they'll say something, and you're like, wait a minute, I never heard of that. Can you please explain it more? They explain it more, and you're like, okay, I'll sign up. And don't fear putting some money down on this, where you get a subscription. You don't want to get subscriptions for everything, but if a few of these dating apps have a good track record, then give it an opportunity. So really know which medium you are investing your time on. The fourth thing is to ditch checklists for priority lists. A lot of these dating coaches, they will lead you down a very, very dark path. They will say, girl or boy, get as detailed as you possibly can. The more items that you add on to the list, the better. To be terrific, you need to be specific. Very bad advice, because here's what happens. The more material that you keep adding onto the list, the more that you add useless items, especially when finding a life partner. And two, you add a lot of contradictory items. For example, if you are a girl and you're like, I want an ambitious guy, one of the checklist items, that makes me the number one priority, another checklist items, these two are simply contradictory. Ambitious men make their skill set the number one priority, and all others within the ambitious man's life will win as a byproduct of them investing in the skill. You, my friend, you have just created a nonsensical list. And let's say you meet an ambitious guy in the future, you're like, well, this guy's pretty cool, but he's not giving me enough attention. He's not making me the number one priority, and you swipe left on him. And in the future, you meet someone who's making you the number one priority, but they're not ambitious. You're like, well, they don't meet both requirements. So once again, you swipe left on them. What's happening? What's happening is that you have created an unrealistic expectation, and you're evaluating others from that unrealistic expectation. The guy's version of this is like, I want a virgin who puts out the first day with me. I'm like, dude, if she's been a virgin, chances are there's some intention behind her moves. Now, some people, like, they're virgins because they haven't found the right person to lose it to. But other people are virgins due to principled reasons. Maybe it's due to their faith. And you want that. You want the virgin, and then you want her to sleep with you on the first date. How do these two different bullet points align? It doesn't. And when you get too detailed with your checklist, anything over 10 to 20 items is too detailed. It starts to become more contradictory, and you begin to add in useless stuff. I actually had a cousin one time who was like, Armani, I had to dump the guy. I mean, his shoes and his belt didn't match. I mean, how can I give this guy another chance? I'm looking at her, I'm like, her head's pretty big, but I guess that big head doesn't have a brain, you know? So that's a waste of time. Avoid detailed checklists. Instead, get a priority list. A priority list should have 3 to 5 items max. And I would actually recommend you just have 3 items if possible, okay? Because this forces you to get clear with your thinking, okay? Where, I'll give you an example. A priority list right now has to be the same religion, willing to live in the same location as me, willing to have kids. Anything else is up for whatever, like you're willing to compromise on or you're willing to accept. But these 3 things, you're like, nah, I'm not bending the rules for these 3. And when you have that, it's like, man, now I can actually judge people with the right lens. Versus if you have this detailed checklist with like 50 different items, you're looking at everyone, you're microanalyzing them, you're looking for the worst in them. which just isn't good. So ditch checklists for priority lists. And the final tip that I want to give you is we often talk about red flags a lot. And there's this new phrase called icks. Like, what does someone do that gives you the ick? And this type of talking is becoming very popular. And it may force you to always look at the red flags and the icks of someone. And I think that's fine. Every now and then looking at red flags is a good thing. But you also want to balance out the red flags with green flags. Introduce that language into your vocabulary. Where your partner, let's say they lose concentration a lot, or the person that you're talking to, every now and then, they're just like not really being fun, right? They're just like, huh? What did you just say? They're like, were you even paying attention? That's a red flag. They can't concentrate. But the green flag is they're always initiating conversation with you. And when you introduce the green flag, rather than just articulating the red flags, it allows you to be a little bit more patient and present with the partner. So include the green flags within your vocabulary. Other than that, I mean, it's really just a game of execution. It's really a game of just swiping right on the people you like, swiping left on the people you don't like. Once you match, you guys have some conversations on text, then you transition it into the phone calls, and then you transition it, hopefully, into meeting in person. All that stuff is a talk for another time, but I hope you understand the 5 basic principles I brought up in today's video. Dating apps definitely do work, but you want to make sure that you have the right strategy to set yourself up for success from the very beginning. And after that, it is simply a game of execution. Thank you very much for joining the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel, and I will catch you next time.